So, as you look at your students, I'd encourage you to go, okay, so I can look at where the ankles are, I can look at, kind of where in space things are, but then it's this question of like, can I see where the weight is going? Because also, those outside landmarks, and this has to do with like, with some other stuff, but the instruction to bring your ankles together? For me, that does terrible things to my feet, right? To bring your knees and ankles together does wacky things to my knees and my, like can't. So sometimes those outside instructions about what to do or where to put things are not actually helping the inner organization. The other thing, which is certainly useful sometimes, and sometimes helping the symptom takes care of the cause, but sometimes taking care of the symptom doesn't help the underlying issue. So one of the other things that I think is useful but often overused is this instruction to keep your knee over your ankle. So certainly there's a case where when I'm doing some kind of lunge, my knee is inside. It might also mean that I'm collapsed through my foot, and I might be leaking pressure out the inner knee and doing all kinds of unhelpful things. So you could say, bring your knee over your foot, and I might do that and still not change anything in my foot, in which case I'm actually still pushing out through this knee, but now I'm gripping out here as well. So I've added something on top of. On the other hand, it might organize my foot in such a way that the weight can fall clearly through it. But I can pull my knee out and not quite get my foot organized. So the knee over the ankle is not a guarantee that the weight's falling clearly. Because it's also possible for me to have a clear pathway of weight in my foot and my knee inside of my ankle. Because we do that when we do something like eagle. And certainly there's movements in Tai Chi where you're bending your knee and it's moving inside your foot. Or when we do the back leg in a warrior pose, our knee is inside of our foot. Unless you're completely parallel. If I've done this and my knee is inside of my foot. So I think that the knee over the foot is treating a symptom rather than getting at the underlying cause. And you might choose to say it, but I would suggest as an observer, or as a teacher, that you also see if there's some way, like is the knee on the inside and the foot still organized? And do you care then? Right? Because if I do something like eagle, if I'm not going to turn myself that way, if I do just what the standing leg is going to do, then my knee needs to come inside my foot to get my knees pointed forward. Right? At least in my body. But I can still have, it's not as easy, maybe, as when my knee is over my foot, but I can still get that pathway of weight. Does that make sense? So knee over foot doesn't guarantee a clear pathway of weight in the foot, and having your knee inside your foot does not necessarily mean that it's not well aligned, that it's not well organized.